So yeah. So now I have glass, plate, and a nested list, which is also another container. Now when I write for tray in box, so box is the name of the container. Okay, so if you refer back to the syntax, this is a container and we have to specify the name of the container here. And this is after for keyword, this is a variable. Okay, so you can name it however you want it. So this variable I have named it as tray. Okay, so now visualize it like this is a box, this is a container actually, and this is a variable which I have named tray. Okay, now in the first iteration, the glass will be picked up because it is placed first in the list. The glass will be picked up first and then it will be assigned to variable tray. Okay, so which means that now tray contains glass during the first iteration. So what will happen during the first iteration, we are executing this instruction, print instruction. So what should it print? We have this in box. What should it print? What is the current value of tray? The tray currently contains glass. So it should print we have glass in box. Okay? Next time, during the next iteration, plate will be picked up because it is the second element in the container. So plate will be assigned to this variable named tray. Okay, now tray contains plate. Now when iteration number 2 runs, it will print we have plate in box. Make sense? What about the next one? We have another container as a next element in the list. Okay, let's call it a crayon box. Okay, so it represents red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple colors. So now when I run this, the third iteration, this entire container will be assigned to the variable named tray. Now tray is a list, another list again. Okay, so what do you think in iteration number 3 it will print? We have what in box now? The entire list. It will print the entire list. We have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple in box. Okay? Now since this is another list, in order to loop over each element in this list, I need to have another nested for loop. Okay? If I want to loop over all the elements within this container, I should have another for loop nested within the outer for loop. Are you guys following? I'm not going into discuss right now, but I will come back to this example again when I will discuss the nested for loops. But I have already shown you how the nested for loops look like in the last lecture. Okay? Just like accessing the nested list elements, we need nested for loops. Okay? Any questions so far? Do you understand how it works? Like in every iteration, it picks the element in sequence from the container and it assigns to the variable. Here in this example, it is tray. Okay? Let's take another example here. So for person in, we do not need to have the container defined first. We can directly write a container here. We can directly create a list here. For person in this container, and I'm printing hi, the person name. What do you think will be an output? And how it will appear on user's screen? We have just discussed this. What will be an output? Yes?
Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill, and then?
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole, and hi, John. All will appear in as a separate line, right? Because the default behavior of print statement is it will print whatever we want it to print and then it will change line. Okay, so hi, Bill, hi, Nicole, and hi, John. If you want to modify this behavior, you can change the end character. Okay, so the end value. Understand? Any question? Great. So for loop can also iterate over a string, as I mentioned. A string is also a sequence type object. If you have a string, let's say CSE, it means it's a container containing 3 elements, C, S, and E. Okay? Now